I like to play my uke.
Thank you. Great, now we're confusing them again.
What?
We're confusing them again for which one of us is it.
Oh yeah, we did. We went through so much effort in the last one to make sure people knew who we were.
Yeah.
You know what? We're not against a little bit of improv.
Yeah.
For the intros, a little bit. We like having fun.
Yeah.
We like having fun in 505.
As promised.
Back-to-back
episodes.
Yes.
First time ever.
We have reconvened, and we are now going to go through. Well, let's give a little bit of a setup.
All right. So, in this episode, we're gonna be partially going over. We're gonna be fully going over the for my philosophy final. We got 8 questions, right?
8 questions, ladies and
essay
gentlemen.
questions. She told us to prepare questions for all 8, but she's only going to give us 4.
Okay.
So, what we got to do is we got to go through these and figure out what we're going to answer. What I'm going to answer.
Yeah. Essentially right now what we're doing a little bit of review for Ben, and as I think we found out we've done some philosophical thinking on this podcast before.
Yeah.
And it's easier to come to a conclusion when you're working with another person. It's 2 minds comprehending these questions instead of one. Okay, we will. This is episode
18.
Even though they are back to back, we are not going to ignore the introduction.
Hi, I'm Ben.
And this is episode
18 of the BnE podcast. Yes. This day in history, a couple of planes went missing in the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh my!
My mom's calling.
No way.
Hello? What? I'm sorry, Mom. They're all good. We're on the podcast right now with Ethan.
Oh my gosh.
I heard he did. They're good. Okay, love you, Mom. Bye.
That was his mom.
That was my mom.
We always get very lucky. I enjoy when they call.
Jeez, I feel like I'm drunk.
Why?
Because I keep slurring my words and I can't stop slurring my words.
Are you tired?
No, I'm not tired.
Oh. Late nights. It's been late nights for us.
It has been. I can't go to sleep at night.
What do you think about
knowing that Trump is president?
What's going on?
I don't know. I just don't get tired until 2 in the morning.
Do you think it's stress because of Tinder?
Yeah, definitely.
That may not be a joke. That may not be a joke.
Actually, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because you've gotten and you've been that may be something that'd be worrying. I know it would be worrying for me.
Ending up alone.
No, not that. Jeez, that's depressing.
We got these what are they called?
Oh yeah, sorry. If there's
sparkling
some pauses,
water?
We took a little break from recording in the last episode, and we got ourselves some Clear American. They're sparkling.
That's the way it should be.
They're sparkling water. So if there's you get some pauses.
Yeah.
It's because we are enjoying our
some
Clear American.
Clear American sparkling water.
Yeah, I have black cherry, which is my favorite thus far, and Ben picked himself up some pineapple coconut.
Yeah, I drink. Sparkling water!
Yeah, pineapple coconut is kind of an allusion to pina colada, you think?
Yeah, I'd say so.
So this is episode 8. All right, this is what I was thinking. I feel like every episode for the last 2 or 3 I've talked about how by the end we're gonna have 32.
Yeah.
Or more than 32 at this rate, but that's a full at around an hour with some being over. That's
at least 25 hours.
That's yes, I think that'll be at least,
yeah.
Which is more than a day. That means you could go ahead and listen. We have recordings of us from for longer than a full day.
Wow.
A full rotation.
That's a thing.
Yeah, that is the thing. Now, enough of that.
Enough of that.
Let's get
into the nitty-gritty.
Yeah, so Ben has
8 questions pulled up that
8 questions.
they gave to us.
Yes, philosophy recap. 4 will be chosen for the actual test.
We don't know which.
But we are going to go ahead and dive
Answer
in.
them all.
Yeah, dive into the nitty-gritty.
All right.
So let's start off with number 1, Ben.
All right, number 1. Can moral facts be observed? Why or why not? According to Harmon, what are the similarities and dissimilarities between moral versus scientific observation? Do you agree? Why or why not?
Whoa. Okay, all right. Let's. Does it make sense to answer these like part by part?
Yes.
Okay, so what's the first part of this?
So,
one?
can moral facts be observed? It's basically a roundabout way of saying
What? Can moral facts be observed? Can you see moral?
It's basically
as in the opposite of immoral.
It's a dumb philosophical way of saying, are moral facts, like, are there distinctive right and wrongs in the universe?
Okay.
You know.
Okay, so we're back to the. We've heard this question once or twice. Can they be observed?
So.
Yes. Oh. Oh. Yes. Because,
okay, but then now you have to explain why.
Right.
Though.
Now we get into.
So that's why I'm probably
down.
going to answer no, because it's a lot easier to disprove it, and it's a lot easier to write about it.
Okay. Yeah. I would say, like, my first thought was yes, you can see these objective moral truths and these objective truths.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can see, like, that coat, and, like, I could say.
We're talking about, like, moral codes, like, is killing right or wrong?
Oh, moral, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or is it, I don't know, is it okay to call in a bomb threat and say, if Ethan doesn't get an A on his assignment, then, and this is not Ethan saying this.
Right, it's totally not Ethan.
Yeah, then that is morally.
If he's threatening the math department.
Yeah, a better grade.
So, like, no, maybe not then. Is it...
Because how you would
It doesn't
argue,
make sense. That question doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's the thing about philosophy, is that it's not supposed to make sense because there are no answers, really. It just depends on a case-by-case basis. So then I'll just explain how you would answer this one way, or at least to get the question done.
Okay.
So you could say moral facts cannot be observed because of the infinite scale of the universe. Like, what would it matter in the grand scale of things that something is right or wrong? That's just one idea that someone came up with.
Yeah.
You know?
I would say moral facts, there's no such thing. They cannot be observed because it would not be incorrect to say that someone else could have just as strong feelings against what you're doing as what you're doing. So I would say maybe the only and then it wouldn't be like objective moral.
Yeah.
So I would say maybe the only case where this works out is if you're in an isolated group of people, and you do not have any knowledge of anything outside of this group.
Yeah, and also moral facts are subject to change over time too.
Yeah.
Like
right.
back in like the whatever times, you know, life was a lot more uncertain.
Yeah.
Not held as highly as it is nowadays.
So I would say no. I would say no with that.
I'd say no just because it's a lot easier to write about.
Okay.
And because you'd have to write at least a page or 2 pages on why, and we don't have that much time on, because you got to explain this whole thing. I don't even know how to explain it really, but the way that it took a whole class for her to explain it to us. Okay. Oh, this one we'll be able to answer.
Is this
a lot better?
The second part?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is. Oh wait, because it's of the first. Do you want to keep on the first question? Because so the next part of the first question is, according to Harmon, what are the similarities and dissimilarities between moral versus scientific observation? Do you agree? Why or why not?
Yeah.
I don't know who Harmon is.
So
that's part of my homework.
is to find out who this guy is.
Yeah.
What are the similarities and dissimilarities between moral versus scientific observation?
Okay.
Moral observation. Seeing how do morals play in with science?
So you could say, if I'm kind of mixing logic with science here, but you could, like in some tribes, some uncontacted tribes, it's a part of their culture where if you get old, they just kill you because it's one more mouth to feed.
Yeah.
You know, so you could say logically that is more, you know, it's better because,
Oh.
you know, scientifically we have more food for everyone else that is healthy.
Right.
But morally, you could say, well, that's killing is wrong.
Yeah.
You know, you shouldn't kill someone just because they're old.
Yeah. Right. Looking in from the outside, which is weird. It's always
Yeah.
the thing. I think a lot of things bank on location.
Yeah.
And like belief, because like to them it's not immoral.
Yeah, it's just a part of life.
Yeah, the
you
people
know?
who are
and
old,
they've
like,
accepted it. Like the people like one day my friends are gonna go kill me.
Yeah. So did we touch on what are the similarities and dissimilarities
Between
I
moral.
don't know about that.
I'll have to read into that. I don't.
It's very.
But question number
very
2,
strange.
we don't need any reading behind. On this
Okay,
one.
here we go. Number 2.
Okay, can machines?
Did we have
What?
to come up? Do we have to come up with like a like a short conclusion?
Okay, for number 1.
Yeah.
So
So-
if this were on the test, I would say moral facts cannot be observed because of the varying degrees of what people believe is moral and what isn't moral, and also the grand scale of the universe.
And then maybe a little bit more research
Yeah,
into
not
scientific
saying,
versus
not saying I believe that or not, but just
for
the paper.
Yeah. I think that's a smart move.
Yeah. All right, we're going on to number 2.
Yes.
Okay. Can machines, such as sophisticated computers, think? Justify your answer by explaining what thinking means and requires.
It's tough maybe for us to grasp the question fully. Because we don't I don't know like how sophisticated AI is right now,
Yeah.
or could be.
Now they can't think, but I think we have to define what thinking means
Right.
is first, I think.
Yeah.
Hey, think. So
What is think?
So I
well,
would
no,
say-
haven't we? Oh, that's learning. That's learning. I was thinking of some definitions that we've gotten from psychology, but thinking,
What does it mean to think?
to consider, to think.
I would define thinking as being able to make your own decisions and go over different avenues for how to do
Yeah,
something.
to make your own decisions. That's good.
Yeah.
That's to think, to consider, to. Maybe I would say that.
Okay.
Make your own decisions. There's thinking without the making of decisions though.
Yeah.
Which is just like it's passive.
Self-sustaining.
You're just thinking. You could think about anything. What is the
How about
question?
thinking means to
can
come up
they
with new
think?
ideas?
Yeah, could they think?
This is why I love Ghost in the Shell so much, because this is basically Ghost in the Shell the movie, the plot of Ghost in the Shell.
Didn't we watched the?
Yeah, we watched the
that.
anime
That was
one.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
With Caleb.
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah, it was an interesting movie. I think eventually they could. I think eventually they because right now how I imagine a machine or a computer is just completely programmed. It's
It's an algorithm.
Programming, right? It's an
Yeah.
algorithm. So
If this happens, do this. If this happens,
yes,
do that.
if steps, if something happens, and then a reaction is formed based off that.
Yeah.
I think simpler machines will have less of these connections.
Yeah.
To do very simple tasks. Computers and phones are programmed a lot more, so you're able to get a very like robust set of tasks or I think when I think there's going to be a point where there's enough of those connections that we could consider it thinking.
Okay. I would say that we can consider it thinking when it steps outside of a process that has been programmed into it somehow.
Yeah, somehow. I mean, it's crazy to think about that.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's like you give it, once it's been given the capacity to step outside those bounds, then you don't really know
Yeah.
what's going to happen. So I would say yes, eventually.
That's what I'd write. That's what I'd write
eventually.
too. If this were on the test, I say yes, eventually.
Yeah.
Because
There's a weird argument to be made for like humans and their thoughts.
Yeah.
Like we're not programmed. I don't believe that.
But would you say we're programmed by our environment, by our upbringing? In a way,
and also
because
genetics.
like babies are just
genetics,
like blank slates.
Genetics.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, genetics and environment are both of the like program, like those are what program a person. Genetics and environment. There's not much else that comes into play. There is nothing else. Genetics and environment.
Yeah,
there's
nothing else. Yeah.
Nothing else. Not to say that
like
genetics.
Experience would be environment.
Right.
Peers would be environment.
So I guess they're general terms. Not to say that genetics and environment are small things. But those are the two things that are like programming a person. So I guess you could say I don't think humans are programmed, but I think we definitely have the same.
Because program
links.
implies intentional things.
Right. Like we're being.
Because you don't walk out. You don't say when you're afraid of spiders because one time a spider bit you. You know, you weren't expecting to get bitten by that. The spider wasn't like, all right, I'm gonna go out and bite some kid today, and make him afraid of spiders for the rest of his life.
Right.
So it just happens.
Right, things happen. So maybe there will be a time when computers can adapt and like form links and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But what are you gonna say? What are you gonna say for your final?
Okay, for my final, I define thinking as. Define thinking as being able to step out. I define a robot being able to think as being able to step outside the boundaries of what has been programmed into it.
Oh, that's good. I think that's pretty solid.
Yeah, and I'm like 90% sure that one's going to be on the test.
You think so?
I'm pretty sure. There's just something in me that makes me think that it's going to be on the test. All right. Third question. What is mind-body dualism? Present one of Descartes' arguments for mind-body dualism and consider an objection to that argument.
That seems like less of a philosophical question, more of like, hey, what's this thing that we
So what do you think?
Mind-body dualism.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
Well, Ben, mind-body dualism. I think it's when your mind and body are out of sorts with each other. Mm-hmm. And they kind of fight it out. They duel a little bit, and that's where people get into trouble. That's when people get sick.
You're kind of close, except duel meaning two, instead of dueling like fighting.
Gosh, shoot.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
Okay, dualism. I have absolutely no idea. If it's not your brain and your body duking it out, then I have no earthly idea.
So basically, mind-body dualism is, at least this is what I think it is. It's that are your mind and body two separate entities? Can you have a body without a mind or a mind without a body? Or are they one and the same?
Oh. Different, I think.
Yeah?
I think so. Mind-body dualism.
Is your mind part of your body? Or is it some other being?
Some other being.
Some other being?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like your brain?
Like your mental thought processes. Are they part of your body, or do they exist on some sort of different plane?
It's a good question. Like I know they're like they exist in like the brain, which I guess is the body, but I think they exist outside. I like that.
Okay. They exist outside
Yeah,
of it?
I do. I like that.
Right.
Not in some like weird, like other dimensional
But like it's
way, but it's like
it's somehow
not,
apart, different.
Yeah,
from
it's
your
very
body.
different. It's very different.
Okay.
I do think it exists outside.
Okay. For this one, I think for the sake of the paper, I would argue that your body creates the mind, and your body cannot exist without the mind.
Okay.
And that
I would agree with that.
your mind isn't a separate entity. It is in fact part of you. You
Okay.
can't have one and the other. They're the same. That's how I would argue in this paper.
What does it mean, like one without the other? I get like. Dang.
Hey.
I'm always hoping that they'll stop right outside our door and have a
Really philosophical
loud,
chat.
interesting conversation.
Okay. So existing one without the other.
Yeah, because I would agree, like logically, you couldn't like have a mind without a body or a body without a mind.
Yeah.
Because without a body, there's no vessel for the mind, and without a mind, your body can't do anything.
So then that's
It's not a
the big
body.
question. So then if it's like that, then how are they one and the same? Which is what I'm trying to argue.
Oh. Okay.
So that's the big question there.
Okay.
I'll have to look more into that. Okay, and then the fourth question is the same as the third question, but it's the first one is list arguments for, and the fourth one is against.
Oh, okay. Against. Okay. So on to the fifth.
Yes. All right. Number 5. What is hard determinism? What is the argument for hard determinism? Give an objection. All right. Let's look that up. Why don't I know what hard determinism is? Oh.
Oh, I sat in on one of Ben's classes.
Yeah, he went in there and
That was pretty fun.
yeah. Ethan was kind of wary about it. He's like, I don't know.
Oh yeah, because it was scary. I wasn't sure what the. Oh yeah, there was a chemistry test.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I didn't know like what the procedure was to go into college classes. I didn't know if I'd get in trouble, so I was kind of aware. But I went in there and I held my face straight.
Gaunt.
Gaunt, yeah. I tried to look as tired as I could, and everything went
I look
fine.
as disinterested as everybody else there.
Yeah, right.
All right. Hard determinism is the theory that human behavior and actions are wholly determined by external factors, and therefore humans do not have genuine free will or ethical accountability.
Okay, interesting. So what do you think about that?
So it's an argument against free will. So the question is give an objection to that. So
Oh yeah, when I was in the class, they talked about free will. That
Yeah.
was the topic of the
discussion.
yeah.
Dang, I'm more stressed about this project than I was before going into this podcast. All right. So give an objection to hard determinism. So we need to object that we do not have genuine free will or ethical accountability. Okay, I could make an argument here that this hard determinism supposes that we cannot be held ethically accountable for our actions, right? But we should just overlook that, because if we didn't, then the world would just be crazy. I'm just going to leave it at that.
All right.
Is free will compatible with determinism? Why or why not? Can a compatibilist define free will? Is this definition adequate? Why or why not? Okay. So there are people called compatibilists who mix free will with determinism somehow.
Okay.
Like hard determinism, imagine you're on a political compass or
yes,
something.
yeah,
Hard
yeah.
determinism would be way over here.
And someone.
And then free will people be way over there. And then compatibilists will be right in the center.
Okay. Like independence.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So, it's the most recent topic we discussed, but I don't know how to answer this. Okay.
They're very odd. They're very weird questions, I think.
Yeah.
They seem kind of weird and specific. Honestly, I don't think you're gonna have any trouble preparing for them just by like looking up.
Yeah, because
stuff.
I'm simultaneously stressing about this now, but not, because I have come up with some answers for all of these except for this one.
Yeah.
Or both of us have.
Yeah.
So I think we should skip that one. All right.
Okay, yeah.
7. Present and critique one of the arguments regarding God's existence discussed in this class. Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay. Wait. Here's the story. Here's the story of that. So I walked in. That's like the philosophy. I walked into philosophy, and so we sit down. We're waiting, chatting for a little bit, and so the teacher walks in, and she's like, "Okay, today we are going to be covering some more concepts on free will. As you know, next week we will be talking about the existence of God." And I was like,
lost it. He started screaming.
I was like, "What is going on?"
He stood up on the chair and he was like, "Teacher, what is going on?"
I shook my fist and I said, "What are you doing to these students? How you can't hit someone with something like that."
This teacher is so good though at walking a tightrope between saying she's for and against something. It's like a superpower that she has, right? So she can like bring up these arguments
and be
completely neutral, but at the same time being for it, and then 5 seconds later bring up a completely also agreeable argument that says it's against it,
really,
and still be neutral.
That's interesting.
It's absolutely insane. I don't know how she does it.
Listen, it takes skill. It takes years of mind-numbing lectures.
Yeah.
To develop such a personality and talent.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't know if I can get too much into that one.
I'll just bring up the one that I'm going to discuss if this is on there. Pascal's wager. You ever heard of that?
I've never.
So Pascal's wager, it's the most simple argument for the existence of God, and it's just really simple. That's why I like it. So basically, if there was a God, it'd be better for you to believe in him than to not believe in him. That's the wager.
Right. Okay.
That's it. So then an objection to this, though, would be that you're only in it for yourself. You're only looking out for what you think you should do instead of what you believe. Or not that, but you're being selfish.
Yeah, and then that's kind of that's a no-no.
Yeah. So that kind of goes against Christianity, where it's like, okay, I'm just believing in, or you're believing for the wrong reasons. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
So I'm only believing in God because it'd be better for me.
Yeah, right.
Not believing because...
I get that.
Yeah, so that's what I'd argue in that one. Okay, what is the problem of evil for theism? How can a theist respond to this problem? Consider an objection to that response. So this one, we haven't gotten to it in class yet, but I know about it. It's, if God created the world, then why would he allow evil to exist in it? Mm-hmm. So...
Theist is someone who
believes in God.
Okay.
Yeah. So how can a theist respond to this problem? They could say that God gave us free will to do bad or good. That's that's just one I can think of. Okay, but then what's an objection to that response?
Like what's the purpose? Like what was the intention?
Yeah, so if God is all good, then why would he give us the why would he give us the option of doing bad if it's literally you get nothing out of it?
Yeah.
That could be an objection, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so I think that's maybe hopefully cleared up some. It's very
I think this was helpful. I think.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I don't think it'll be. I mean, if you look up like the terms, if you like some of the terms and do.
I get up a Google Doc and then I
Yeah.
write down like a summary for each argument, and then I bring that into class. No, I can't do. She specifically told us she can't do that because kids would do that.
Oh, really?
And she's like, what's going on here? So.
Oh, poor. What's her name?
Jennifer McKittrick.
Jennifer McKittrick. Very interesting.
She's a good teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I liked her. Very kind of monotone.
Yeah, but relaxed at the same time too.
Yeah,
you know?
she was chill. She was more like, it wasn't really a bad thing.
Yeah.
It was more, it wasn't like cold. It was kind of chill.
But then when people get answer questions, she gets kind of animated too, though. That's really
Oh,
cool.
really?
You know,
She does?
she'll like get into it, like not
Yeah.
like argue or anything, but be like, okay, well, if we suppose that and into this. And,
Yeah, she has a lot of things. That's good. I like the teachers that can know the subject, like know the subject.
She really knows her stuff.
Yeah, so if you can like get questions and interact with students about your subject in in a good way without even having, I think teachers like my reading popular literature teacher, this philosophy teacher.
Yeah.
Someone back at Waverly was Jensen, I believe, with
never had
history.
him.
He was like very, very good with history.
Like another thing about this philosophy professor is like someone will ask a question that makes no sense at all, right? Like
And
it's just extremely poorly worded, a bunch of ums and likes and stuff like that.
And she can decipher it.
And she can decipher it in a matter of no time at all.
Exactly what you just said. Apply that to my reading.
Really?
My reading. Yeah, she'll just people will say things, and I have no idea what's happening. I do not know what's happening. In philosophy, I would assume it's even more confusing with like, all
but
these
she just
crazy,
goes right.
But it's right
yeah,
there.
Yeah.
And she understands as the person's talking. She responds to it and then has her own thoughts.
Yeah.
Immediately. And it's all like formed out, which is crazy to me. And the thing is, you can get teachers that are the opposite.
Really?
Which are like I had a teacher but they just don't know that.
In some time in your life.
At some point in my life, senior year, for
third period.
for a class where I was cooking food. The had no idea, and maybe it's because it was newer. It was newer to them. But at this point, he didn't have all the knowledge, didn't have a deep understanding of all the things.
Passion,
so
maybe.
Or passion. So it's just not the answers and the teaching, the learning material don't flow freely.
Yeah.
From the person. It feels like someone who's very well educated in a subject is almost like they're overflowing with information. And it's like it's not like an active like overflow, but it's like if you're engaged with them about the subject, it's not difficult for them to engage in conversation about that subject.
Like the person will ask the dumb question that makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
She'll go like like as they're talking, and then like she's processing it, and then when they get to talking, she explains what they said to the rest of the class in plain English, and then gives an objection to it and also a support to it.
Oh, that's funny.
I was like, what? How did you do that?
She's just been doing this. You think she's been doing this for so long that she has like a backlog of every single possible response to any possible question that could be asked.
She's a computer.
Yeah, she just hears it, translates it, spits it out.
Yeah.
She gives both points. You think robots will ever teach?
Oh yeah, they already started.
Really?
Like ABC Mouse.
It's not a robot.
Yeah, it is.
No, it isn't.
Oh, what about in psychology we learned about this thing. It's called the Albert Einstein head that gives lectures. It's like a literal robotic head of Albert Einstein that gives lectures in Albert Einstein's voice and like teaches and stuff.
Lectures that he would do?
Yeah. It's really
Whoa.
creepy. Here, I can look it up on mine.
Okay, let's see this.
So
Maybe after they develop thinking robots, after they develop robots that can go outside of their bounds, as far as the program, they can... Whoa.
there it is right there. Nope.
That is creepy.
This one right here.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah. So then my psychology teacher doesn't really have the same skill as my philosophy teacher, but I don't hold it against her because the questions that people ask her
Or even worse.
are even worse, and questions that nobody would know, that nobody should know. Like, what's an example? just hypothetical questions,
Yeah.
you know, that you could only answer if you literally made a study about it and see what would happen and propose this entire experiment.
Yeah, that just doesn't make any sense. It just
Yeah.
doesn't make sense.
And then I feel bad for her because she's like forced to sit there and say, I don't know, I'll have to find out. And then the next day she comes to class with like notes and she answers all the questions
Really?
that people had. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. I don't have anyone in any of my classes that ask questions.
Really?
Yeah, none of my professors are able to have the opportunity to go through and break down things that people have said and respond after class. But yeah, good stuff. Do you feel? Let's say give us a number of how you were feeling before.
I was maybe feeling a 8.
Feeling an 8. You may be feeling a 9. Or
I'm feeling like
8.5?
a 5 right now. 5 or 6.
Oh, worse.
Yeah.
Okay. Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. So let's see if we can bang out 2 of these. See what my final for science fiction is.
Okay.
You want to sing a song or something while I'm looking this up so there's not silence?
Let's think. Do I have anything? Oh yeah, just for
Whoa.
wow, that
was-
is a 10.
That, ladies
was a
and
10,
gentlemen.
for sure. Who's slamming the doors? Who is slamming the doors?
No.
My goodness. I just do not know. I don't know. Winter just... Things are going on. I guess it's slowing down. I had a calculus exam yesterday.
I can't find it.
Oh, okay. Well, no more really updates. We want...
I'm really digging those Phillies at lunch. I have dinner
Really?
now. Yeah. Yeah. Get the mushrooms and onions and Swiss cheese on it, no bread.
Yeah. Yep.
Ooh,
Yep.
that's good. That's why we get 50 minutes until they start serving those, though.
From now?
Yeah.
When do they start serving them?
7.
Jeez Louise. All right, well, we will be
Or
waiting.
maybe it's 6. I don't know.
Oh, 6 o'clock? Let's check. If it's at 7, we will be waiting in anticipation.
Anticipation.
Dining services. Let's check this out. Daily menus. Harper. Breakfast. Oh, available 7.
That's lunch.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, it's still 7.
Oh, shoot. Yep, made to order Phillies. Excellent. What's going on at World's Fair?
Asian style baby back ribs.
I have absolutely no idea.
Sesame. Oh! Is it
Sesame chicken V? What does that mean?
vegan? I don't know.
What is vegan?
Huh.
Very interesting. All right, well, that's what I'll be having, I guess. Sesame chicken. Okay, well.
We banged out an hour and a half of content.
Hour and a half. You heard it here first.
All right. Should we play us? I just scooted the entire thing.
Yeah, Ben, why don't you send us off?
All right. You wanna make an improv song?
Yeah, what do you want to make it about?
Let's make it
Let's have
about.
let's have a top.
Let's make it
name
about stupid questions that people ask in psychology.
Okay.
Or how about are there stupid questions that people ask in your psychology? No.
No questions are asked.
Okay. How about dumb things people have said in reading popular literature?
No one said anything dumb. The people don't. There's only 5 people who talk in my reading popular literature, but they all know what they're talking about.
Dang.
We can talk about dumb questions in philosophy and psychology.
Okay.
In specifically.
You want to play?
I don't know how to play this thing. It's gonna sound horrid. Yeah. No.
Okay.
Can you sing and play at the same time?
I'll try.
Well, I'll for sure. This will definitely be a combined effort. I wouldn't let a boy do it himself.
It's like come on, play and sing at the same time. Nah, come on, do it. All right, like plays American Pie, like just perfectly.
Yeah,
like
just
my
rips one out.
Yeah. All
Okay,
right.
this one's called.
Dumb questions in psychology.
Dumb questions in psychology.
Oh, people asking dumb questions
in psychology.
I don't like them. Dumb questions. Give you an example right now.
What would happen if someone with depression had a car crash and lost the left side of the right hemisphere?
What would happen?
Would they be able to speak? What would they think if they went and had an electric shock? What would happen? Would their left foot move? Would they recover?
Who knows? All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, that was our.
And that is exactly the type of question that someone would ask in my psychology class.
Yeah, that's what I imagined. Is like just out of just left field, just
yeah. And she comes back with an answer most
every
times.
time.
Yeah.
Man, you know what? She has some. She's got
grit
moxie.
In our grit, our
She's
glory.
got moxie. Whoa there. Slow down there.
I just see there.
buckaroo.
I just like mixed in.
Yeah, you got some pride.
brought it all around.
Yeah, you brought it all around. Okay, well that was good. Well, I'm ready to.
I'll play us out.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And 1, 2, 3, 4.